Hello, everybody. Welcome to Reaction Land. I'm your host, John Marshall.
And then...
If you're new to the channel, please remember to like and subscribe. Go ahead and smack that bell to be notified of future upcoming episodes. On today's show, I'll be doing a reaction to the Foxes and Fossils performing Destination.
Yes.
Also coming up, Ross King will be joining us in the virtual studio. And it all begins right now.
Attaboy, Wilbur!
Welcome to Reaction Land. All right, Destination by the Foxes and Fossils. Here we go.
You don't owe me one more minute of your wasted time. You act like it's all fine, but all the years I gave you thinking you knew that you wanted me, I wanted to believe. I've gotta make a destination. Tired of trying to describe what you'll never see. How good we could be. You gave up and lost it. Now you're looking for a little grace. Well, look at my face. I've gotta make a destination. Cracks in our little path. It isn't hard to leave, knowing that I'll be getting life on track. Never looking back. I've gotta make a destination. Find where I belong. This time I've got no hesitation.
Wow. This was amazing. Now I actually had to go back there because I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me, being a magician and all, but uh, John Pike plays guitar as well. Wow. Most of these guys are multi-talented and play multiple instruments. I'm thoroughly blown away here. Yeah, honestly, I've never heard this song before, and if I have, I don't remember it. By the way, heads up on the last video, I made a verbal mistake about Crosby, Stills, and Nash singing Shambhala. It was the Three Dog Night. I should have known that. Mama told me not to come. That's all there was to it. That was just an old-fashioned love song anyway, you know. Beautiful job. These guys are so talented. It just never ceases to amaze me why these guys don't have a recording contract. I'm just beside myself on this. In my last conversation with Ross, we were on the phone, we were talking, and he was recommending to me the Foxes and Fossils new CD, which I openly and encourage all of you who don't own that CD to buy it, because it has one original track on it. According to Ross, that song really shows Scott King being a badass on the bass. And I, pardon my French, Madame Wadouche, poo poo. I recommend it. I really do. In fact, coming up in the next couple of months or so, we are actually going to purchase a bunch of the Foxes and Fossils new CD, and we are going to start giving them away to lucky listeners and viewers on this show. In order to win the CD, you must be a subscriber, and I would also like you to share in the comment space down below why you would like to have a copy of their new CD. All right, everybody, let's head back to the virtual studio where Ross King is waiting to join us. Ross King, welcome back to the podcast. How are you, my friend?
Thank you, John. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. So a lot has happened in between the last time that we spoke. Recently met some great people that were huge Foxes and Fossils fans at your last gig. In fact, they attended 3 of your shows. What was that experience like for you?
It was so much fun. I really loved it. They're just easy to be around and pleasant and super friendly, and just it was neat. It really was. I enjoyed it, and hopefully we can do more of that, and maybe some other folks that are lovers of the Foxes and Fossils can join in on this. You know, the feeling of getting to know band members, and you know, Scott being my older brother, they were really excited to meet him, and they had talked about getting together previously, but it didn't work out, and Scott wasn't able to get together. So I feel good about being able to spend some time with them, and they were super sweet, and they came to 3 shows. I mean, that was spectacular for them to want to hear my band three nights in a row. I found it super special.
That's awesome, man. What a great connection. We were talking a little bit about your very first introduction into the Foxes and Fossils, and I found it to be a very interesting story, and that was the video Destination. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's super special. I found it, Scott and I are super close, and he had asked me to listen to and get familiar with a couple of songs because he was trying to encourage the group to maybe consider utilizing me for future videos and whatever else might come with it. And of course, I live in Virginia and they live in Georgia, and it had been working out really well for the videos for Scott. And I was thrilled to do it and rather nervous and excited as well. So, what is fun is that we never played together in music, as we talked about before with the listener question.
Mhm.
And Scott didn't really teach me bass guitar. If I asked him to show me things, he would. Song passages like the Stevie Wonder thing and all those things. But this particular week was really sweet. Scott, I was helping him stay comfortable. And he asked me one day, why don't you come on in here and let's take a couple track runs on Destination. So I had previously brought a few basses back to Virginia Beach to my mother's house for Scott to use, some fretless basses that I have. And he had started to diminish in his ability to play and with his, everything working. And that's a sad part about cancer and the things that get us, is that we can eventually lose our abilities in many ways. So, but it's very tough to do, but it was fun too. So we go in there and I'm in his bedroom and we get the studio up, his laptop studio. And Scott was in bed and I sat on the side of the bed and I got the bass ready and we tuned up and did a few practice tracks. And then that was really nerve-wracking for me, by the way, because I've always just admired Scott. And over the years, when Scott would come home and see me play, I was tight. I would get tight because it's Scott King watching me, and I recall that feeling every time. So I always was in awe of the King.
Nicely
So,
put.
the King. Excuse me. Tough to talk about sometimes.
I understand, brother.
So I had to put aside all my nerves, and the song is a real neat song, and I was happy to listen to it and run it a few times, and so I felt like I was ready. And we played a little bit. I played a little bit. And he could hear what I was doing through the headphones, and as well, just audibly with that fretless has a nice sound acoustically as well. So we did a few tracks, and I got to admit, I wasn't totally thrilled, and I was feeling like, gosh, this just probably isn't going to work. And so he's like, it sounds great. It sounds great. You're doing great. Let's run. Here's what I normally do. I'll do a few tracks and I'll send them to the band, and Tim will let me know if he needs anything. And I said, okay, let's do it. So we did the several tracks, and by the end, I was comfortable and felt pretty good about the track that ended up being the track that the band used. And so the time with Scott was super special to do that. It's just remarkable. So we get to the point where he's like, okay, are you sure? Are you ready? Are you ready for me to send this? And I was like, I don't know. And so I said, they're going to know it's not you, Scott. They're going to know this. He's going to immediately know. And he goes, no. You're wrong. It sounds great. You're fantastic. It's going to be great, Ross. And so we sent the thing off. And, I think in the previous, the way they worked is that Tim would let him know if he needed anything. And, I'm sure it would depend on if Tim were busy enough to, if he could listen right away, he did. So about 10 minutes go by and Scott couldn't take it. The not hearing back. So he texted a message to Tim. Is everything okay? Is that going to work out or something of that nature? Do you anything else you need? We ended up just sending the one track. And Tim goes, yeah, man, everything's fine. It sounds great. It lines right up. Thank you so much. And that was it. And we both were just sitting there. And I said, Scott, he's probably on the messaging with his band going, oh guys, you got to hear this. Scott's really sick. You got, it's this bass track is a mess. So Scott and I had this beautiful time together laughing about that. And that was super special. And Scott couldn't take it anymore. Again, he was so eager to find out what was going on that he goes, he just sent back, well, that was Ross, my brother. And Tim sent back, I knew something was going on, you sneaky little sons of guns. And that also was a beautiful moment for Scott and I, because I was like, I'm right. I knew that they would know something was up, because really everyone's different in music. It's like you and I having difference in our lives, but being the same age. Everyone's unique. Everyone's different. And music is that's a surefire way to know who you're listening to in most cases. And Scott's talent was so natural, and the things that he possesses is just the natural feel and groove and an understanding of what he wanted to do. And if a lot of the listeners will know that if you listen to what Scott's done, it's Scott. It's not Scott duplicating a guy or a gal. It's Scott rewriting bass lines for arrangements by this band.
His
And
twist on it.
right. It's another talent that Scott has. And we're really different in the way we approach things and how we move in and out of chord changes. And I just have always loved him. And, we mentioned that in the last podcast, that how much I admired and just loved to listen to him do anything, recordings, sitting in the bedroom or anything. I just always wanted to kind of look at it and go, man, I'm going to try to possess some of those ideas. So that was a really special story for me. And Scott was in bad shape. And, this was some time that we got to spend, other than being brothers, that we spent some good time together anyway. And so that story was special. And I'm glad that I got to share that with the fans. I'm really happy to help be a part of anything that I can do with the band. And I hope Scott is proud of me.
Oh, I think he is undoubtedly, my friend. Yeah, I mean, take us through this whole fascinating thing. So, how often did Scott actually go into the recording studio with the Foxes and Fossils, or was a major majority of this done long distance and just pieced together through cloud?
Well, I mean, from what I know of it, and the fans would know this as well, because of the, if you look at the live videos, the band, Mustangs videos, and then the infiltration of the idea of the girls coming into an actual real band. And then you would see some of that live crossover. And, I love looking at the video. You can see Scott in better times. That's great. The videos, I'm pretty certain that everything Scott did was in Virginia Beach in the videos for the takeoff moments of this band during the COVID. And the build in and around those years of people being home more and people sharing more. Hey, check this band out. I ran across this band doing this Neil Young song. Look at this stuff. So the first thing I did with Scott had moved home, and we got him comfortable at Mom's house. And he, after several weeks of getting acclimated to being home and feeling better, I lived, 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away from my mom. And he came over and asked me if I would record a video for him for the band, and that they were doing videos. And I was like, I'll be glad to help. I had the iPhone. So Scott came over, and fans are going to recognize this in my little, what would be, I guess, a dining room without it being a dining room. It was a bass guitar room in my apartment, which was a nice little house I rented. So Scott came over, and he brought over the bass that he used, and he brought over a ukulele, because in the Neil Young song, he played a ukulele part as well. And he sat in this little chair that he loved. And I recorded him playing along to the previously recorded track. And that's going to be, which is the song? Harvest Moon. That's
Good
the
song.
person I helped with.
Okay.
And so I recorded the video, and then this is hilarious to me is, I'm doing it like this, just recording Scott. And so it turns out that they wanted this. I don't know what I'm doing in this world of technology. So it turns out that when you look at that video, Scott's come in the little up and down block because of the guy who doesn't know what he's doing on the camera.
Priceless.
So Tim was able to use it, and Scott, let me know that, oh yeah, he'd rather it be in the full zone or spectrum, whatever it is. So that's
Wow.
my handiwork of recording Scott in Harvest Moon. And then I'm pretty sure that he was functioning and managing to do the recordings with Tim's help over like what you and I are doing, where Tim would sign on and help him through the process of getting a track ready to go. And then by the time when he got comfortable, he was running with it and had no problem recording his parts. But he didn't have a technology bug for the phone and videos and iPhones and all that kind of stuff. So by the time I introduced him to Scott Cale of the Gray Riders, and Scott Cale is just a wonderful guy and so talented in so many ways. And I just couldn't, I had all these gigs and I couldn't manage everything. And I wanted Scott to play again. I felt like that would help him feel better and to get himself back on the horse, so to speak, because the music is where he really just lit up anybody that he was around. So I asked him, would he be interested? He said yes. And that's when I introduced everybody to each other. And Scott, I backed out of the band, which was just something we did part-time. And Scott stepped in, and Scott King and Scott Cale just got along beautifully. And Scott Cale being so talented in many ways, Scott started helping him with the videos and then some of the recordings. So the room that you see me in doing Destination and, Peace Train, that's Scott Cale's house. And so it really was a group effort. And Scott Cale was great to help us with some of the things we're just not quite up to snuff with. But that's sort of how that goes. Scott, if I'm wrong, again, I don't mind being wrong, but I believe it all started right there when Scott moved home, and that was before COVID hit. So there was a period of time where they were figuring this out together. And then the girls being so smart and, being in the business and the college and different things as people grow, they're not little teenagers anymore. They're grown women going to college and studying music and different things. So the girls really, along with Tim, they plug and pushed away at this thing and created it. And then it just took off because of the talent and the sheer, they're so wonderful to listen to. The early stuff, the live stuff, the videos, any of it is so easy to listen to for me. So that's sort of what happens there. is he started doing his recordings when he moved home. He had been, with girls going to college and fewer shows and the things he was going through. Um, I think it was kind of just one of those things where they were doing their best to function
Yeah.
and create this thing, even though Scott may not have always been around to help, or even a video. Like sometimes you'll notice there aren't any videos of Scott. And
Yeah, I was noticing the last few videos that they had put out while he was in transition. Uh, it caught my eye. I was like, I wonder why he's not in this video. Because like I said, I had no idea what he was going through on his end. I think he was trying to do and accomplish so much before he passed that he really meant to do the podcast and get himself out there as well and get this thing recorded. It meant a lot to him, and I know it meant a lot to him, just so much to do. He was spreading himself so thickly, and like he said to me, we got a little bit of wiggle room here. And I never understood the gravity of that word until now.
yeah, well, I tell you, it was, the tough part looking back at this stuff is that wanting Scott to feel better and to, just the difficulties that he had gone through in his life, unbeknownst to most of us, because, if anything, Scott deserves an Academy Award for Best Actor, because
For sure.
he was able to put a lot of that down instead of showing it.
Amen, brother.
So Scott, his talent just is the ultimate beauty of what we're going and talking about here, is that he loved playing, he loved the group, he loved being creative.
Yeah.
So excuse me, getting over a cold here.
And he loved his fans. He loved the fans. He loved everything about it. Ross, thank you so much for joining us again, buddy. I truly appreciate it. I know the fans do for sure. We could go on and on and on for several episodes, and we'll just be getting to know a little bit more about your brother. And I do appreciate you sharing these stories, my friend. I know they're very emotional for you, and I feel your love. I feel your passion, brother. You are an amazing individual, and I thank you. I thank you so much for joining us. And one thing is for sure, I definitely thank all of you, the viewers, and I thank all of you, the subscribers, and everybody who makes all of this possible. It's such a blast having guests on the show, and I look forward to, in the future, extending the shows a great deal. And, well, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm John Marshall. Till the very next time that we meet. God bless you.